Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Des.
I'm Gaynor.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are, three of us together. 10 ways to spot Americans abroad. How would you spot one? Apart from the accent, obviously.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Sometimes they dress a little bit different. When I go to City games, sometimes
They always wear baseball caps.
Getting a lot of Americans coming to watch City play at the moment in where we sit, and can usually pick them out as soon as they walk in. Like you say, a lot of them wear baseball caps inside, which a lot of British people don't. They take the baseball cap off when they're inside. So that's something that does happen. But let's Walter's World. We like Walter's World, don't we?
We do.
Mark here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what Mark says about 10 ways to spot Americans abroad.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and I am an American. Though I'm going to guess you probably already figured that out. And today's video is basically the things that give you away as an American tourist when you travel in Europe. And the thing is, I want to start with this one, and it's usually that you hear us before we get there. Look, Americans are loud. Now, we're not trying to be loud. We're just loud and boisterous people. We love life. We want to talk and share and just be loud. That's what Americans are. And when you go around and you travel, you hear us first. Now, we're not the only loud country out there. I'm talking to you, Spain. I'm talking to you, Italy. I know you're loud as well. But that's one of those things. People hear us coming before.
Always baffles me about when I go in an Italian restaurant, I can hear an Italian talking, and someone's answering him from the other side of the restaurant, and I'm thinking, I can only just about hear you.
Yeah.
But someone else is yelling across, answering him, and I'm like, how's he hearing him speak?
Yeah.
But I don't think not all Americans are loud. It's a very
No.
it's a bit of a misconception and a bit of a myth.
Those we met, well, we didn't meet them. They were on the next table to us when we were in Crete. Were really loud.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they were very, very loud. Yeah,
I've had times when
but
I've sat next to
had
like
quite
loud
a lot.
Americans as well, to be fair. But it doesn't bother me
Yeah, it
at all.
don't
No,
bother
they
me
had quite.
either.
To be fair, they'd had quite a lot to drink.
Yeah.
They were doing shots and playing cards, but I think that's what it was. I think they just had a bit too much to drink, which is why they got loud.
Yeah.
Because I think Brits are quite loud as well, depending on
course,
where
Especially
you go.
after they drink.
Yeah.
we're there. And here's another thing. They also see a part of us before they see all of us. Like when I walk into a room, usually it's my tummy that comes in first. Yes, we Americans tend to be a bit on the husky side. Hey, but don't worry, Europeans are getting fatter too, so they're catching up little by little. Haha! No, but honestly, usually Americans, we are a bit huskier. We're a bit bigger boned, let's say, a bit tummier, right? And so that's another way that people say, oh, Americans are there. They got the big old booties, right? So there is that. Now, another thing that I think maybe relates to that is the clothing we wear.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I would say.
American style and European style are very different. And the thing is, when you go around Europe, there's very much different styles. Like I'm here in Stockholm, and you think they never saw any bright colors. Everything is like a beige or a gray or a black or a white. Like it's very solid colors kind of stuff, but not flashy colors. But I think there's kind of three things in terms of clothing that give us away. One, baseball caps. Now, I know when I talk about baseball caps, I get these people in the
Chinos.
UK. and
Chinos,
they're like,
yeah.
We wear baseball caps all the time. I'm like, no, you wear New York Yankees hats. If it's New York Yankees baseball cap, that could be a European. But Americans, we wear baseball caps all the time. Like I have friends I've known for 20 years. I have never seen them without a baseball cap on. No joke. When I see them, they take it off. I'm like, oh my God, you're not bald? I thought you wore a hat because you were bald. I had no idea. Americans love their baseball caps. And when it's spun backwards, 100% American, okay? Now, I know some younger people in Europe or people doing exercise do use caps, baseball caps in Europe, but it's nowhere near the numbers like in the US. So all those are gonna comment though, we wear them all the time in Europe. Not like in the US, not like in the US. But that's one of the things, like being baseball cap. Another kind of clothing choice I see is athleisure. Now, you'll see in Europe, people do wear gym clothes and athleisure clothes, but that's because they're going to the gym or coming back from the gym. Whereas Americans, we sometimes wear the athleisure clothes as our actual clothes. Like these are our pants, these are our shirts. And that is one of those things you kind of see different. And then another one that gives it away is actually shoes. Now you think with how everybody loves shoes around the world that we all have the same kind of shoes. No, you get a little different kinds of shoes when you travel and how people wear them and where they wear them and how they don't want to crease them. I think the don't crease thing is pretty international. But I have students, when I take them around the world, they literally go to look at the shoe stores here to get different types of shoes because there is a difference. And continuing on with the kind of clothing giving it away, it's not just the clothing styles and the things we're wearing, but it's also the sizing of the clothes. Now, the fit of the clothes, which kind of goes into the number 2 I talked about our tummies coming in. You'll notice Americans tend to wear more baggier clothes, less fitting clothes. That's why when you come here and you want to buy your wardrobe, you're like, why is it so tight in the arms? Why is it always this slim fit butt thing? Like, do they have no butts in Europe? Not really. But you notice that Americans didn't have baggier clothes. We just have a baggier fit on our stuff, and that kind of gives us away. Now, next I have a low-key way.
I'm gonna sort of like say something here on fashion. I think fashion sort of like comes, when I say fashion about what people wear, I think it travels from America, and we're a few months behind on certain types of way of wearing stuff, right? So the bigger clothes sometimes does translate over to here. I'm talking only, I'm saying a lot of European countries, but certain definitely Britain.
Yeah.
And then you give you the example of the tennis sock, right? Where over here many years ago, going back to say many years ago, say 2 years ago, the tennis sock wouldn't be a thing. It'd be a low ankle sock with shorts and sneakers or trainers. Whereas now, people are wearing the bigger shoes with the tennis sock pulled up to the mid calf.
With sliders.
With sliders as well. Now that's more of an American thing, I would say. So that's sort of like transited over here. Because when I see Americans, what I always see is like you said there, like you see a shirt that's either tucked in or out with like cargo shorts, which you don't see a lot of over here, cargo shorts.
No.
Not many of them. They're more like fitted sort of shorts. An American would wear, if to spot an American, when you say he looks American, we'd have not saying everyone wears these, but they have like the bigger tennis shoe.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the fitness shoe that we'd wear over here. Like I wear Jordans quite a lot. Or you things like your Sambas, Adidas Sambas
I
and
think
things
the
like that.
style as well, like the jeans.
Yeah.
Like
It's a different
they always
cut.
wear like a big belt
Yeah.
and like have like mainly check shirts or like Gant or those kinds of.
It's like very stereotypical
Yeah.
what you're saying, but it's kind of is that when we do see people that
Oh,
that's
you have a
what they're
cowboy
wearing.
hat on as well.
You know, it's kind of like the counting thing in Inglourious Bastards, because Germans say 3 like this and Americans say 3 like this. Well, this one is utensil usage. How do you hold your fork and knife?
Yeah.
In America, you have your fork and knife and you cut with your knife and then you switch your fork to the other hand and then you have your fork and then you pick it up and take a bite, then you switch it back to cut.
What?
A lot of places in Europe, you had the fork and knife, you cut and eat, and you just kind of like shovel the food in that way without switching the hands. So that's one of those little, like, if you want to be a little espionage CIA kind of thing, that'll give it away. Now I have a couple annoying.
I have seen some people.
They switch their
Americans. It's when we hold our knives and forks, we have like a certain style we hold it in Europe, whereas
We
sometimes
have
I've seen it
the fork over.
face down. Yeah. So
And
the,
then
the fork facing down and the knife sort of thing. You're holding it
slice
like
like
that.
that.
So
Yeah.
like in America, I've seen someone holding a knife.
They
like
hold
they're
it like they're
gonna
going to stab you, yeah.
Yeah, like it's
What?
like the knife's
I
coming
like
out.
have
the
my
hands
like
that.
finger going over the top of the knife like that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they hold it like the fork
Not everyone,
like that.
but some do hold it in a
and
kind of an
and
awkward
they,
way.
And then they stab it in like the chicken and then cut it like that. And then they put it down and like...
Yeah, they kind of hold it in an awkward way sometimes, and I'm like, first time I seen it, I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Just calm down a little bit." No, it looks like there's going to be an accident here somewhere. You know.
That's
I
strange,
don't
that.
use a knife that often, if you noticed.
Yeah, I use a knife.
It's
with
like
everything.
if you're like eating rice or something like that. I'd even use a knife just like push it onto the fork.
I use a fork, just mainly a fork, unless it's like steak or chicken
Yeah.
or something they have to cut up. But even then, I don't only use a fork.
Habits that Americans have that kind of give us away. One, we really love our phones. Like, people in Europe use their phones all the time, but I notice with American travelers, we are much more attached to our phones. It's like, I sleep next to you, you're my little sweetheart, I love you so much, don't let anything happen to you. Like, we love our phones. But where I really see it is when people are eating dinner or lunch or at breakfast at the hotel, you'll see the Americans will be on their phones all the time. When they're going around, they're on their phones. And the thing is, Europeans, they get on their phones too, but not at the same extent as you see Americans. So that's one of those things you notice. Also, if everybody has an iPhone, good chance it's Americans, because in Europe, they don't just got iPhones. They get a little bit of something else. Now, the other kind of annoying giveaway for Americans is the complaining. When Americans complain that they didn't get what they want, or
I think
things aren't
everybody
just like
does
it's
that.
at home, or why can't I pay in dollars, the kind of whiny complaining is, that's one of those
Hang
kind of
on.
giveaways. You know, whether
There's
it's
no way they complain about not being able to pay in dollars.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
mate,
do,
I'll tell you
yeah.
a story. That I've told this story once before, that a sales director came over when I worked for a company in the USA. Sales director came to the UK. We came to see one of our biggest customers. So he said to me, does he drink whiskey? And I said, he does. He said, let me buy him a really nice bottle of whiskey. So I said, yeah, okay. So we went into the liquor store and he put it on the counter and he was all like happy and everything. And the guy went something like, I don't know, 79 quid or whatever. Gets his dollars out and I went, what are you doing? He went, I'm paying in dollars. I went, you can't. It's British pounds. The guy like, what the fuck's that? I was in Withenshaw, stopping there, and the guy sort of like was like looking at me as if to say like, what are you doing? And I went, no, you've got to pay in UK pounds. And he's
Yeah,
like,
he
what?
thought that
And this was
dollars were
this was
accepted
director of an
anywhere.
international company. Didn't
Jesus.
know. Thought you could pay dollars everywhere, and that's what he said to me. He went, I thought you could pay dollars everywhere, and I went, no, you can't.
That's quite mad. That.
Yeah.
I can't believe the line we have to do at the Eiffel Tower. Are the Germans always like this? Why don't they come take my order? Like, the little kind of complaininess, I mean, all tourists complain to their extent, but Americans seem to be more vocal with it because we're just more vocal people. And I think that's another thing I should say in terms of a difference is we just are like more voracious, we're more talkative, we're more out there, but also we're more oversharing. Americans, you meet us, we'll start talking to you and be like, oh, how was your day, sir? It was fantastic, but then I got a bunion on my foot, but this is so great. My grandpa was from Sweden and he told me about the motherland. It's so good to be back. And then, do you think my beard's coming in okay? Like, Americans will just share and share and share. They'll be like, oh, and then Nancy down the street, you know, she fell and broke her hip. And your waiter's like, did you want dessert? And that's just one of the things. It's one of the sweet things about Americans where you notice them. They just overshare on things. And they don't do it in a bad way, just how they are. And as sweet as we are, we do have one kind of mistake that gives us away. And that is the not even trying to speak the foreign language. Like, I'm here in Sweden, so I at least know tuck, which is thank you. A lot of Americans just start right off in English, and it kind of puts us in a bad light because other tourists do that too from other countries. They just assume that it's an ugly American, but it's just people that actually only know English as their only other
British do
language.
that.
Yeah,
But
the Brits as well.
That just not trying to speak a language kind of gives us a bad look. And then there's also the Swedish chef. Yes, Americans trying out the accent or the accent they think that people should have or have in the country they're visiting. Like, you come to Sweden, you can't help it. You like envision the Swedish chef. And so you want to go, you're flirty, flirty, you're flirty, 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 flirty. You want to do that. Like, they're like, oh, American, right away. Or, yes, we are going to speak the Queen's English today. Yes, could I have a spot of tea, a cuppa? Like, the overdoing the silly accent kind of stuff. You hear that, you're like, American. It's not a bad thing. It's just one of those things you're like, yeah, they do that sometimes.
Is that Mark finished now?
Never been to Sweden.
No, I haven't.
But all in all, there's nothing wrong with being an American traveling the world. We get found, we get noticed. But you know what? We have a video on how to spot Europeans when they come to the U.S. Yeah, those socks and sandals kind of give it away, my friends. And the lack of
Lottie
eh?
tipping. But I'll go to that in the other video. But what are ways that you can tell an American tourist when you travel, whether it's here in Europe or anywhere around the world? Let us know in the comments below. And be nice in the comments this time.
Yeah, it'd be nice anyway. It's,
Exactly.
People are different all over the world, wherever you go. But I always find that if people want to tour wherever they go, they should always be welcomed to a country where they want to go to as a tourist.
Yeah.
If you want to sort of like go and see and sort of like go into people's cultures and understand what it's about. And
Yeah, be respectful.
got your respect for it, respectful of what goes on there. But I never look at people in a bad light who come to visit, or when I go and visit somewhere, I never look at them and go, oh, he's American or he's Swedish or whatever it may be. I'm just like, oh, American. And I like to meet people, don't I?
Yeah.
I love to have a chat with people, see what they're about, see where they're from, what they think about if they come into, especially when they come to the UK. What do you think of the UK? Why did you choose here? And you find out what it's about. I don't care how loud they are or what they dress like or what they say, or if they want to do accents of us, go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? We'd be the same. And that thing about learning a different language when you go to Sweden or when you go, you imagine the same applies to British and Americans, same because we all speak English, our native language. But if we had to learn a different language for every country we went to, I'd have to know about 26 languages.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
The
It's
thing is, as
impossible.
well, when you go to these countries, they want to improve their English. They want you to speak to them in English.
Every country outside of like in Europe that isn't like English as their first language probably teaches English in school.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Do
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
If I could be in Spain tomorrow, then the next day I'm in France, then the next day I'm in Germany, then Belgium, then Holland, then Norway. I can't learn all them languages.
But all them
Yeah.
probably speak
So-
their own language and then English as well,
they do.
rather than. I mean, they probably like. There is probably similars between like I don't know,
Yeah.
like Portuguese and Spanish and stuff like that. I don't know how similar it is.
Yeah, there is. Well, Dutch and Belgian. You got the Flemish and the Dutch is for Belgium, which is same accent sort of thing, and then but half of Belgium speaks French.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So the southern part is French. But at the same time, though, I remember when I went to Italy, trying to speak a little bit of Italian, the guy just went, "Mate, just speak English. Can't be arsed." And he had a broad Manchester accent as well from Italy. Yeah. But you see, that's what you get. But it's everyone knows English, like I say. And it's I wouldn't feel sort of bad not trying to speak the language because you're not going to learn all them languages. Too many.
No.
Yeah.
You know, we went to Latvia. That's another country we need to learn.
They all speak.
If that was the
They
case.
all speak English.
They all spoke very good
Yeah.
English, didn't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. No. Always interesting watching Mark from
Yes.
Walter's World. Quite
Yeah.
like him. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.